Watching the Olympics, which for some of Team USA is apparently an extension of some woke college seminar or anti-law enforcement rally, it keeps coming back to me just how brilliant the left's strategy has proven to be historically at stripping the common sense away from otherwise intelligent individuals. It's something that I like to call the toothpaste principle. I've used it for years to discuss with students how to craft effective messaging that resonates with virtually any target audience, but it's also a simple way to explain all of the screaming blue-haired activists, the angry anti-ICE mobs, the no kings people, and the nicely coiffed Olympians who are so triggered by American society today. The toothpaste principle works because it's based on the way the brain makes decisions. It's basic psychology and something the left has understood and deployed for more than a century, even long before the method was adopted by Madison Avenue marketing firms in the 1950s. Take the hypothetical decision of purchasing a tube of toothpaste. The marketers of this toothpaste need a powerful differentiator in order to grab market share. Okay, it's capitalism. They know that they're not selling an honest product, though. Their motives for creating and selling the toothpaste is pure profit, and therefore focused solely on convincing the buying public to move away from their current brand to buy theirs. They're charlatans, like socialists and Marxists, competing with American freedom and the Constitution and the rule of law. So what do? They create a marketing scheme to tell people that their toothpaste does something that no other toothpaste in history has ever done. Their toothpaste makes your teeth and your gums tingle, and your mouth feels so fresh it's almost euphoric. Let me be clear. The toothpaste actually does those things. They're not lying about that. Here's the problem. They focus exclusively on this particular product differentiator to the exclusion of all other aspects of the purpose of actual toothpaste. They don't talk about whether or not it cleans your teeth, or whether it's approved by the American Dental Association, or whether the ingredients are safe for your gums and your enamel. The rational aspects of making a toothpaste buying decision can be and often are many. However, the company doesn't quite care about any of those. They're asking the buying public to make a purely emotional decision. The commercials show people in a state of euphoria after brushing their teeth. They're happy and they feel great. Your brain makes 1,000 decisions a day, and most of them are based on some measure of both rational and emotional processes. As a tactic, the toothpaste company's move is brilliant to get people to buy in. How something makes you feel is, after all, more powerful. The emotional side of your brain is more powerful than the rational. But you can't make good decisions on emotion alone. You see, the toothpaste company made good on their promises to make the users' mouths tingle with delight, but the chemicals in the toothpaste over time erode enamel and inflame gums. They create a customer base through the feeling of cleanliness, but not the reality of it. That's the American left. Much like the Russian people following the Bolshevik Revolution or the Chinese after Mao's conquest of the mainland, by the time that they realize that their teeth are rotting, it's too late. By then, few will even attempt to change course. A fanaticism has set in that also denies the reality of the decay, or alternatively, blames someone other than the toothpaste company for the condition. You know, I'm so often asked why liberals are so miserable, angst-riddled, and angry. The painful and sad truth is that they have been conditioned to be that way. Words used by the left to increase their customer base, like fairness and equity, or alternatively racist and Nazi, are all very emotional language. They are so overused in the context of emotion, and without rational foundation, they mean virtually nothing at this point. There's a reason that woke schools and left-wing commentators and organizations like Public Citizen and the teachers' unions drive these wild claims of rampant racism and phantom threats of Nazism running amok and catastrophism over climate change or anything that Donald Trump does. Miserable, scared, and angry people are using the emotional side of their brain far more than the rational. People who are encumbered by heavy emotional burdens are often totally irrational. That's why in this country, a man who walks in on his wife being sexually assaulted and kills the attacker is deemed in our legal system to be treated by a different standard. Crimes of passion or heat of the moment can mitigate the murder charge. Over-emotionalism is why we also see so many women and effeminate men partaking in today's left-wing protests. Women are biologically more emotive than men. It's a natural thing. That may make them more susceptible to the strategy of the toothpaste company. That strategy also poses legitimate conflicts for people of faith as well. Faith isn't based on pure rationality, but it is more of an emotional construct because of the supernatural components to the belief system. Christians in particular can be conflicted about the left's messaging for this very reason, even though Marxist or leftist ideologies run almost totally counter to Christian teaching. To be sure, the toothpaste company does ultimately go bankrupt. After all, you can fool people only so long before they appreciate in enough numbers that the product actually stinks. Ultimately, there's too much negative data to ignore. The rational side of the brain is forced to re-engage. The only alternative is the slow demise of the soul. So every time you see one of these people who aren't making any rational arguments about politics or public policy, history or science, know that they are among the victims of that predatory toothpaste company who suck them in but ultimately will leave them toothless. And when it comes to the left, toothless is exactly the way they want the American people.